Can doubling your trade amount turn your losses into profits? Martingale, risk or chance? Figure out the strategy that traders appreciate. Breaking the limits, how the Martingale strategy can change your binary options game. Hello everyone, my name is Victoria. I'm a professional trader with more than 5 years of experience in foreign exchange market. I'm glad to welcome you to my YouTube channel. If you watch my videos, you will be able to trade and earn money from the start. Trading is actually easy if you know how to do it correctly. Today I'm going to talk about the Martingale method and what does it do. Watch closely, listen sharply, and let's get down to business. To succeed in trading, it is important to combine a whole range of disciplines. I have already partially introduced you to the psychological side of trading in one of my previous videos. Now it's time to learn managing your capital, as it is one of the most important skills in the foreign exchange market. In order to get a full output of your invested funds with moderate risks, you must be able to competently manage your finances. How to achieve that? Well, to be honest with you, there is no clear answer, but there are many different techniques designed to help you in this matter. Among the most popular ones are the Martingale and anti-Martingale methods. These two methods have been used in stock trading for a very long time and have earned their place in the foreign exchange market. Based on these methods, traders develop their own unique systems of working. This allows traders to increase their profits while minimizing risks. A little history lesson on the Martingale method. Well, the Martingale method is a financial strategy for money management. It gained its popularity back in the 18th century. Initially, the Martingale strategy was a type of bet, and the essence of the strategy was as follows. Constantly double the bet when losing, so a little later, one winning trade would cover all the lost ones. But over time, numbers from 0 to 00 were introduced. This was done in order to make the game have multiple outcomes instead of just two. Because of this, the usual red or black and even or odd strategies became less relevant, which deprived the Martingale system of any meaning. It's different with binary options because it's not a lottery. In theory, with the Martingale system on binary options, you can remain in the profit even when you have too many losses. If we look at the system closely, we see that the system is a progression that requires increasing values of the binary options deals after each loss and decreasing the values after profitable positions. In the foreign exchange market, this method has two approaches: simple and complex. A simple form of the Martingale system. The simple form requires doubling a position after each loss. However, having made a profit, you not only compensate for previous losses, but also remain in a profit. In practice, it looks something like this. You risk $10. You make a loss, then set the size of the next position to $20, and thereby you risk twice the original amount. You have a loss again. Now you risk $40. In case of another loss, the total comes down to $80. And then what, you may ask? When you finally make a profit, you compensate for all of your previous expenses and earn on top of the amount that was initially involved. In our case, it's $10. This is the beauty of the simple Martingale method in the binary options market. Complex form of Martingale strategy. The complex form of this method differs in the amount of an increase. The numbers need to be increased by 40%. This method is complex and requires special attention and patience. In order for the complex Martingale principle in binary options to bring you profit, I advise you to consider deals not individually but as a series. It is important to remember this. Each series ends at the very moment when profits exceed losses. For example, we will risk the same $10. Let's assume that you increase and then you suffer losses 3 times in a row. Then you have a profit that exceeds your losses twice the size. It comes down to this. In the first deal, we lost $10. In the second deal, we lost $14, and in the third, $20. And the total loss is $44. The next successful deal covers these losses. $28 deal will bring you $56. and the last deal already starts at the $10 and brings in additional $10. The total profit for the entire series of deals is $22. So we ended up doubling the original amount of the deal. What you need to know about an anti-martingale. The word anti directly indicates that this method is a complete opposite of martingale on binary options. The position grows as the account increases, and if there are losses, the position is reduced. What you always need to remember is, no matter how effective and profitable martingale strategy on binary options may seem at first glance, it is important to remember that one wrong step can bring your account down to zero before the profit covers your losses. That is why before applying this method in trading, you need to learn to strategize and calculate every step you take. By the way, in my Telegram channel, I publish deals every day so that you can find them for yourself and try to make money. Link is in the description down below. And so let's move on to practice. Today we reviewed simple and complex martingale strategies. With simple diagram, I suppose everything is quite clear. We used it. We can use it pretty much every day in trading sessions. So let's now take a look at the complex strategy. Let me remind you once again that in complex strategy, each time we increase the deal by 40% until we get to the profitable deal. So today we will trade using Stochastic Oscillator. Let's open a currency pair. I will take currency pairs with a payout percentage of more than 80%. And so the first currency pair is USD CNH. We open a deal to buy. I will not get into details of why exactly I chose this particular one, since I'm waiting for the right moment to demonstrate to you how the complex martingale strategy works. Great, the deal went well. So we had a 5-minute deal. Now I will change the time to 3 minutes. So let's choose the next currency pair. Okay, the next currency pair is Moroccan dirham, US dollar. I open a deal to sell for 3 minutes. An excellent deal. We made profit, but I am waiting for a deal with a negative outcome in order to show you the complex martingale strategy. So our next currency pair would be Euro British Pound. A deal to buy for 3 minutes. Great, another deal brings us profit. Let's open a new deal. I will reduce a deal time to 1 minute. The next currency pair is going to be Euro, New Zealand dollar. A deal to sell for 1 minute. First, why did I choose 1 minute deal? In order to show you how the complex Martingale strategy works. Great. Another deal brings us profit. Well, if I am not able to show you how it works now, I obviously wouldn't deliberately force a loss and waste my balance. So let me remind you once again how this algorithm works. Let's go back to our deals we had today. So the first deal we had today was USD, CNH. So imagine if this deal ended up in a loss. We would have lost $100. So we should have opened the next deal for $100, but 40% higher, so $140. So this is the MAD USD currency pair. Imagine this deal also going negative. We would open the next deal at 40% higher deal amount. This comes down to $200. This would have been Euro GBP currency pair, and imagine if this one also went negative. We would open the following Euro and ZD deal. Instead of $200, we would put $280. And imagine that our fourth deal was profitable. And instead of approximately $280, we would get $560. Initially, we lost $440 from previous negative deals, and so the first deal was $100 and then $140 and $200. So this is $440. It turns out the following. $560 minus $440 equals $120 net profit. So it turns out that we increased our first deal by $20. And if we have earned $120 and opened another deal for $100 from our profit and made a surplus out of it, then it turns out that we will cover all of our negative deals. So this is how the complex martingale strategy works. When you subsequently multiply each deal by 2. So the most important rule is that as soon as you earn money, you immediately reduce the original deposit. That's what I'm saying. In this video, I told you about the martingale strategies. Try both simple and complex ones yourself to understand which one is more safe and comfortable for you as a trader. Also, make sure to share your experience in the comments to this video. I hope you learned something useful today. Like this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!